What's good with the YouTube? You already know Big Flocker with a convict's perspective. Now I'm gonna smash, dash, and slide on through that little bit of energy. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. So, I do a lot of research and I try to find stuff for different topics, right? And I came across something that was interesting. It was the Aryan family, okay? They were just recently indicted 2 weeks ago, right? A 2-year investigation, 1.9 million doses of fentanyl, 230 pounds of meth, and over 225 firearms were confiscated. So I'm hearing this. It's a long investigation. They had ties to Idaho and Arizona, and they hit 18 different locations. SWAT team did, right? So this must have been a huge investigation. So they were like more in the Tri-State area, I guess they call it. And see, I've never heard of the Aryan family. And I did all the research I could on my phone, right? On my laptop, trying to figure out the back history of them. I haven't found anything. So I don't know if this is a new prison gang or if they're roughly new, but this is the first ever indictment that's ever occurred towards this prison gang. Now, they have neo-Nazi type of organization, but of course they had ties to some people across the border on the Sinaloa side, put it that way. And this stemmed from a long investigation, man. And it's kind of interesting because traditionally I always thought that there was only like, just the Aryan Brotherhood. And the other states would adopt the Aryan Brotherhood and the feds and whatnot. But you got the Aryan Circle now, which is really a strong faction in the feds. And then you got other type of branches that are branched off them. Aryan family, this is the first I've ever heard. But this is one of the most, organized type of structures I've seen as far as the indictment, man. You had the ones over there in Oklahoma that were pretty big, right? They've had some big indictments. This one was major, okay? I think the leader of this is some individual named Jesse Bailey. So I'm going to go into more stories out of state from time to time. I was going to do one on the big dogs right now, which I may do so and drop it later on tonight. But this Aryan family, man, I've been looking it up. It just seems that each organization is two things I've been noticing. The scale and magnitude of crimes are becoming more and more serious. The relationships, right? The plugs, the resources and all that, right, are a little bit different. Back in the days, the white cars would be mainly into murder for hire. That was one of their big things that they used to do, right? Traffic a little bit of drugs, right? But now in the last couple of years, man, you've seen a lot of different indictments that have happened within the white factions in different states. Like I said, Oklahoma, they had 66 people indicted. This one, they had 27. And it says that there's an estimated 200 members that are involved. Now, there was also a former correctional officer that was indicted in this case. Now, she was fired from her job for having relationships with an inmate that she ended up getting a relationship with him. So she put her job in jeopardy over an inmate. Go figure, right? But yeah, they're a lot more sophisticated, a lot more organized, and the resources are there, more available. Same thing for all these organizations, I think the MA was, of course, the first to really tap into those sources. The Latin Kings had a couple sources that were good too as well. And then the NF has had a off and on, you know what I'm saying? I think the last 15 years, it's been steadily established. And what I mean by that is there's been different people that had different relationships across the border, you know what I'm saying? Babo Sosa when he was in San Diego, you know what I'm saying? Copas through Texas. And now you have all this stuff going on. Especially now that they're in the feds, they have established relationships with like the Barrio Aztecas and whatnot like that, TS and the Texas Mexican Emmy, right? So what you're seeing from these out-of-state factions is that they're a lot more organized now. Before California used to be the sit trainers, you know what I'm saying? They used to be the one that people wanted to mirror and copycat. These groups now, from what I'm seeing and all the research I'm doing, are starting to, they're accumulating their own little type of plans. They're establishing their own resources. They don't have to fucking farm anything out for or be a middleman for nothing. They've established those contacts, man. And I think a lot of that also has to do with, a lot of these people from Mexico that are coming over, they're migrating to different areas. Therefore, they get in contact with different individuals. It's always a smart move, man. Green money will always make these groups, proceed forward. Now, as far as in regard to Aryan family, right? I couldn't find a damn thing out about them, man. This is what they said about them. Most of the groups or gangs that we have in prison set up a variety of informal rules that help them govern their group. And inevitably, Aryan family's group allows for more violence, and in some cases requires violence, to enforce the rules they believe should be in order. The Aryan family has an estimated 200 members in Washington state prisons, plus others who have been released, said Sean Murphy, a deputy secretary with the State Department of Corrections. The white power group stands out among other gangs for being particularly violent. Okay, let me see. The principal danger we face in this area when it comes to drug trafficking is from the cartels, right? The 39-year-old from Steilacoa, Washington, an alleged member of the Aryan Brotherhood, right, was one of 27 people accused in the indictment of trafficking huge amounts of illegal drugs from Mexican cartels into Washington, Idaho, and Alaska. That's the leader that they're talking about. That's an individual named Jesse Bailey. And okay, so they were pretty much trafficking guns from Mexico, from the United States into Mexico, and the drugs were coming from Mexico to the United States. On the surface, we see the making of a movie: prison gangs, neo-Nazis, money laundering, confidential informants. Richard Colati, the special agent in charge of the FBI, said at a news conference. But what we don't see, and what I'd like to emphasize, is the patience of law enforcement involved in the investigation. It takes an incredible amount of effort to analyze the data and connect the dots to the various levels of the drug trafficking organizations. Of the 27 people indicted, 24 have been arrested. The alleged leader of the operations and other defendants were scheduled to have hearings in Tacoma on Monday. Yeah, so it's pretty much Aryan family, man. You know, they're taking the lead from the AB. You know, even this AB indictment that you recently had, you know, I think that their more serious charges are for murder. This one right here is more for the trafficking, man. Like they had a sophisticated operation to where they were being the pipeline for the drugs that were coming into Alaska. They were plugging Idaho and Alaska, and then they were sending the guns that they would achieve from different groups back into Mexico. That takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, man. You know, and we already know what happens every time there's these major busts. What happens? There's going to be a drought on the dope, right? A drought on the pipeline there, and the prices are going to skyrocket, man. So you already know over there in Mexico, they're winning. Anyways, this is your boy Flacco from a convict's perspective. I'm going to try to get to some other content today, man. I've been busy doing a lot of different things, man. Hope everyone has a positive, productive day. Keep on pushing, man. And if you guys have any ideas for content, put them in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, with that said, man, have a good one. Stay blessed, stay positive. It's your boy Flacco. I'm gone.